Firefox is a multi-process browser that is parallel and has multiple threads running, multiple processes. So code could be running simultaneously. But even if you can run things in parallel, oftentimes you need to kick things off from one process into another and explore where the work is being done and how it's being split across multiple threads. And so probably I'm on the DevTools team, so the easiest way I can think to show this is opening up DevTools, because DevTools, a lot of it lives in the parent process, the main process, and it injects code into the content process, into the actual page, to instrument the rest of it. So there's this interchange that happens. You open up DevTools, parent process does a bunch of work. It has to communicate back and forth between the content process and the parent process. So even if you have no idea how DevTools works or what the code looks like, I think it's a nice example to show how to start to think about working with multiple processes inside of perf.html and kind of the workflow that you'd look at. So I have the Google homepage pulled up right now, which is kind of a trivial amount of work that's being done. So hopefully it won't show up in the stacks and we can kind of ignore it. And what I'm going to do is, my profiler was running from a previous time, so I'm going to go ahead and discard and stop it. It'll clear out all my buffers. And then I'm going to start it. And then I'm going to hit the shortcut to open up DevTools. And then I'm going to click back here and capture the profile. And first off, like you see the perf.html and you're like, there's so much going on, I have no idea. But looking for the red bars represents time that things were going slower or taking time. So this is a good example of when finding when work is being done. So right now there's information captured in content, content process 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, 4 of 4. But you see they're all flat. It's probably just idling. They're sitting in the background, not doing anything. There's no little red bars going in there. So I think it's safe to go ahead and hide those, because those are probably just noise and not something I'm interested in. So we're left with the main thread, which is the parent process. This is what the main thing that the browser lives in. And the content for and the compositor, which typically has some useful information that's in there. But what I want to do is, there's a lot of stuff happening here. And you can see the thread stack graphs. These represent stack heights. And again, stack heights don't mean a lot of work is being done. It just means the stack at that point, it happens to be high. But it's a nice way to kind of see that something's happening. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight from where the kind of red starts to where it ends, and click plus on that. Now I can start to tell a story about what's happening. If I go here, you can see it says there's a 65 millisecond event processing delay. And something's going on here. And there's style layout happening. And then there's like another chunk of red, and then there's a chunk of red here, and you can see more work is being done, and then we come back up here. And as I click on these different red parts, my call tree will update with the current thread I'm looking at. So if I go back here to this red area and click somewhere in there and look around, a lot of this is JavaScript, so I'm going to go ahead and click over to JavaScript. You can see hook key shortcuts. So that's kind of a nice thing to see. Oh, I clicked a shortcut to open up DevTools. And then require hook, DevTools, client frame. Like, you can start to see this work that's being done here is probably DevTools loading. Okay, so we have like 2 areas where DevTools is loading. If I want to make DevTools load faster, maybe I should look at optimizing these areas. And this next red area, you can see it's DevTools/server/child. So this is the DevTools dropping its instrumentation into the page. But you can see the kind of interesting stuff that's happening here. You have a whole bunch of work being done right at the beginning, and then you have a whole bunch of work being done in a different process, and then you go up here to the top, and a whole bunch of work is then happening back in the parent process. So if you're looking at some way to optimize it, perhaps there's a way to take two chunks of work which are ping-ponging between threads, maybe you could take those and smush them back in the same area. So this video hopefully shows you some of the way that you can start to think about when you look at a profile, how different threads are working together and being able to hide information that's not pertinent for your analysis and only look at the interplay of things that are happening. And generally these red bars are a great way to kind of say, oh, there's an event happening here, it's slow, let's dive into it and analyze it a little bit.